Hello champions, how are you doing? Well, today's video is about exposing a few myths that are coming your way. I thought at first this video will be bitching about a lot of things happening around, but then I thought it is important to have this message across to you. These three myths are myths that are coming from my own industry, the industry of trainers, consultants, and coaches. And it's extremely important for you to know what these myths are, for you to be able to take the right decision and not end up investing in the incorrect things. Because when you do incorrect investments, the results are going to be wrong. Keep watching this video. This will save the money and the time that you may be investing or thinking of investing right now. Welcome back champions, my name is Hardik and I make videos to help your business grow. If you think what I say makes sense to you and a conversation with me can help you grow your business, well in that case, go on to my website, select the relevant topic of your interest, answer a few questions, and there we will have a one-on-one conversation, one-time free consultation for all of you fine guys. So today we are going to be talking about these three myths that are coming to you from my industry, unfortunately. Myth number one, branding can help you sell more. Well, I often ask these questions, what comes first, branding or sales? And the reason why I ask this question is people have a lot of confusion in their heads, and a lot of us think that by having a beautiful logo, by having a beautiful proposal letter, by having a nice tagline, it will help you grow. Well, all of this definitely has its place in the scheme of sales and marketing and growth of business. But I want to ask you this question. How many brands have you really seen not having followers? How many? And I'm 100% sure your answer is zero. There is no brand without followers. And what do we mean by followers? Followers are people who trust the brand, which is the name, the logo, or whatever. Now, where does this trust come from? This trust comes from the brand solving one of the needs that these guys who trust them have. So Apple does not become a brand just by having an apple with a bite taken off it. No, Apple becomes a brand because it has been able to sell the iPhones and the MacBooks and the iMacs to people like you and me. And it solves the need of us carrying a beautiful looking electronic piece which works wonderfully, does not have virus infections, and it's very comfortable to carry. It gives that feeling of status. This is all that we wanted, and Apple has been able to solve that need, which is why we become loyal to that brand. Now, therefore, is the logo required? Of course it's required, because the logo and the brand promise and the tagline and all of that reiterates what Apple stands for. When you hear the tagline think differently, or when you hear an advertisement that says it is for people who think differently, you resonate with it, because not everybody has an Apple system. At least now a lot of them do, but not everybody has an Apple system, right? So it resonates with you. So your branding is to allow your followers to repeat in their heads what you promised to them. So that does not come first. What comes first is sales. So your concentration should not be on how I look good. Of course, that has its place. But what you should be concentrating on 80% of your time, if I have to say, is what is it that I give that can help my customer resolve his problem 100%. You spend 80% time there, and then you think about 20% on how do I make it look good. Utility is what people pay for. Solving the problem is what people pay for. Getting that feeling of exclusivity is what people pay for. People don't pay for logo unless you are giving them that exclusivity, that feeling, that solution to their problem. Myth number 2, you should do everything that you like and only that, and delegate the rest of it. Now this again has a grain of truth, but it's not entirely true. Very often we as human beings listen to things that we like to listen to. And that is the problem with this statement, or a synonym of this statement. Delegation happens in steps. What are these steps? Step number 1 is to figure out what you don't like doing or what you should not be doing, and then creating a process to do it, a mechanism to have somebody else follow so that he can get the same result that you would have got if you would have done it. Now, once this process has been designed, then it's important for you to identify what skills are required to conduct that process. If it is a process that involves writing an email, then the person should know English because emails are written in English. That person should know technology, use of computer. If the person is supposed to make a phone call, then that person has to be somebody who can hold a conversation, who knows how to start talking, who knows at least the basic languages that you operate in. If he has to do some tracking and on Excel, then he needs to know Excel. Once you list down these skills, then you got to go about employing a person who is tested on that skill. So who's going to make a process? You. Who's going to identify those skills and draft them? You. Who's going to go about recruiting this person? You. Unless you already have done this task and have a middle management. So it's not about calling somebody and saying, hey, you know what, I empower you. You are not empowering anybody without the skill. You are simply loading off your problems on somebody's head. That's not solving problem. That's saying until yesterday I was getting stressed, now it's your turn. Nothing gets solved there. So delegation and getting freedom is not something that all of you should jump into straight away. What you should be doing instead is designing processes, identifying skills, and therefore recruiting people. And all of this task, nobody else does it for you. You got to do these tasks. Now that brings me to the third myth. And this third myth, it is something like you are being sold to and you don't even know. A myth where it's told to you that as an entrepreneur, it's your right, and I'm using this word again, it's your right to enjoy freedom. There are 5 rights and 10 rights, and where is it written, my friend? Well, let me tell you this with an example also. Ratan Tata, who's the head of the Tata Group of Industry, is not sitting in Hawaii every day because it's a big corporate. He is going to his office every day, which is in Fort. He is working. Mukesh Ambani, who all of us know is a big man of our country, India. He does not go to Hawaii also. He goes to his business and he works. Mark Zuckerberg, which is the big guy, or Sundar Pichai, big guy of Google. These guys go to work every day. And when they go to work, they don't have a massager who's going to come and massage them and they're going to enjoy the right of freedom. No, they are going to be working. So anybody who's telling you you have a right to freedom because you're an entrepreneur, ask that person, why are you still doing videos? Why are you still consulting? Because if you haven't been able to get that right for your own self, how will you be able to tell anybody else? That's like saying, you know what, I'm going to teach you how to fly a plane, which I have never flown myself. So get off these myths. These are not going to do any good to you. Now that you've understood these 3 myths, remove them from your head. Accept the reality, the real world, will help you do the real things, will help you invest in the real things. And that does not mean by any chance invest into me. No. Only if you feel I make sense, then you ask me. Otherwise, you don't have to even ask me. You are all educated people. You can read a book and implement everything in that book and you will be far more successful. If you are struggling to implement, that's when you have a consultant. If you have lack of information or if you're not into reading, that's when you have trainers. If you don't know how to make a decision and you're confused, that's when you have a coach. If these three things are not something that you've evaluated, you need none of these three people. And I'm saying this including myself. And you must definitely not sign up with people who tell you anything around these three myths, because they are trying to tell you things that you want to hear. And if you hear that, you are going to sign up with them. That's the way their business operates. That's the way our industry's business operates. So I know this video is not going to be liked by a lot of people who follow people like that or who are people like that. But I thought it is important for me to be honest and to tell you champions that if you got to remain a champion, you got to eradicate. Sometimes choosing something is less important than not choosing something. So that's what my effort was in this video. If you like this video, do share it with everybody who's falling in for such traps. Save them, save their monies. That's not the way to grow. There is no easy peasy pill. If that was the case, everybody would have become millionaires and every millionaire would have been free. Okay, so that's not the case. If you like this video, do hit a thumbs up, and the very fact that you are here and watching this video so far, you definitely like it. So don't go there without hitting a thumbs up. It encourages me to make videos for all of you fine guys. And if you've not subscribed to this channel, not all good things are free, my friend, but subscribing to this channel is. So go there, love the red button, and don't forget the bell icon, because that's how you will know every time I put a video, you will be notified. So until we meet next time, keep learning, keep implementing, stay away from the myths, and keep propelling.